I love you, man. You have to know that.
But Sim, the but's coming.
But you need help, my friend, you know? You need to visit Ants Anonymous as soon as possible, you know. Tonight, Nick, can you go with him tonight, maybe?
I can take him. I can take him wherever
Is
we need
there,
to
is there
take him to.
24/7 meetings?
Yeah, wherever we need to go, we'll take him tonight. But he won't
We
say
need
it.
to have you in a fixed order before next season, Sim, you know. We need to get you back.
I haven't gone anywhere.
No, 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 no. I feel for you. It's not the best position to have right now. But I can, you know, I know how it is. I've been flip-flopping on this guy since the Chelsea game, probably. But I will say though, in general, like it's a long time since I saw the tactics are not up to scratch. And for example, tonight I thought we played a lot better than I expected. Of course, I always expected the loss. And to be honest, I think seeing that we play a lot better, I think it's a testament actually to a fairly good squad that we have, and they were putting a fight in, but they're working against the tactics that they're being put onto the pitch with, you know. We saw it at the start of the game, just a couple of balls through over, and all like mayhem ensues, you know. And midfield, nobody is blocking a straight run through our midfield, and you know it's just formationally it's complete insanity, you know. And you know, one of your call, I don't know if it was the last caller or the one before that, said he didn't want to see counter-attacking football at our club. But the thing about the Premier League is all the successful teams have very strong transitional football. And we know that we have been some of the best at that, you know, through the years under all kinds of managers. So that needs to be a big factor in the game. And to be honest, the whole overload in offense with the inverting fullbacks and all of that stuff, we don't have any overload. Everybody sits back, 11 men behind the ball. So there is no overload to be had. So that game has been over for almost a year. And that's what we're seeing, the statistics. So I'm happy with this squad that we have, but I'm fearful. I don't think it's not a question of winning anything anymore. Now it's a question of getting back to post-Pots levels, and we're quite far from it. I really fear that we're in for 5 brutal years or something. We are spiraling out of control, and I think if the rumor that Paratici, one of the reasons that Paratici exited was Ans, then that's kind of the final piece of evidence for me, because Paratici, whatever you think of him, he's an absolute veteran at the top level in this game. And if he's throwing the towel in, because we know he was passionate about the Tottenham project. We know he was very much up for it. It was a big thing for him when he came in. Then, of course, the unfortunate ban and all of that, but he still stuck around. And I expect that's because he intended to then come back and follow through on that project. Well, if he's now finally leaving ship as well, might just be because it's a great job at Milan, which it is. I mean, that's a great honor to have that job. But you've heard rumors that it's a lot to do also with this situation this season. Then I feel like the kind of the Levy rolled the dice and listened to the fans in the absolute worst moment, and put his bet on a guy that's not up to scratch, and for me also, like even if you think that Ans is and thought, like many of us thought, that he is a great manager and stuff like that, for me, I find it unbelievable how gullible this fan base is, because You know, I can live with ants being compared to maybe Areola now, or even a Nagelsmann. Who Nagelsmann is a lot more proven entity in elite football than ants, you know. But if you think that ants is anywhere in the same stratosphere as a Conte or Mourinho, and operates in any way the same way, then you basically don't know anything about football and managers, in my view, you know, because Ants might be the next great thing, but he's not there. So you take a chance on it. You see, like we did with Potts, it worked out. It was beautiful. But to suggest that Ants has any credit in the bank to be in the same realm as Potts and Conte and Mourinho and whatever is just ridiculous in my view. And what we've seen is, okay, we took a punt on an unknown. Another unknown we talked to was Slot, and he's turning out pretty nicely. He has, of course, better resources to work with, but he's also shown tactically how brilliant the guy is. But there's nothing wrong with taking a punt on an unknown, but the evidence has been there for over a year that he was not the guy for me, at least. And you know that, so he's not going to be the next great thing in any top level football. He's going to go back to the level where he was and probably be fairly successful at that. I don't think there's anybody coming for him in top European football after this job here. And I do hope also that we get him out the door tonight, because I saw that video actually of him being surprised at the interview when he told him how it was being construed, and the man is lying through his teeth. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm no lie detector, but that's lying. That's very obvious. Like he was expecting that angle, and he had his reaction completely prepared to a T, you know. So
What do you think that tells you about where his head's at, that he reacted
but
to Spurs scoring like that?
well, I haven't been able to watch the press interviews because this man has a humongous ego, and it's the most fragile ego we've had in this club ever, in my view. And he doesn't have any credit for it. Like I'll take arrogance from people who have credit for it, you know. And usually those people, if they go off the thin end, you know, then it's because the situation is crazy and so on. It's not like a constant gaslighting like Ants has been doing now with all journalists, you know. And you can just feel it when the pressers start, you know. You're not allowed to put any pressure on his person, you know. If you do, you're gonna get a real mouthful back, you know, and that's okay. But the way he does it is not professional. It's in a very intimidating and demeaning way, I think so. And that's just lack of class. Fine, some people do have that, but for me, it's always revealed that he's a very fragile ego, and a fragile ego is somebody that always is somebody that is pretending to be something that they're not quite convinced they are themselves. And if Ant's not convinced, then I'm not convinced either. And the evidence is on the field, I feel. So, but I ask you, Sim, I mean, how do you feel like, in terms of, because let's see, for me also, if we win the Europa League, it doesn't change anything, you know. The evidence is still there that the management has been absolutely terrible. The game management has been terrible in the league. A cup run is something that can be lucky and you can go through. But I'm not even going to take it. Let's say it's good management from him and he gets us all the way. I have no faith in that happening at all. I have much more faith in, if we fire him tonight and we even get Mason in, that it's more likely that we can win that way. But let's just say that, you know, the management of the injuries, of the recruitment, of the tactics on field, of the in-game substitutions, on and on and on. And when he's changed it up, he's shown a complete, like amateur level skills, like when he went to the back three and stuff like that, like completely reckless. Yeah, no skills at all in that regard. So. I do believe that he has this formula and it's very successful in slightly lower leagues, but it's like, that's it. That's what the guy's got, and that's it.
Jorri, I got a question
Yeah.
for you. There's
Yeah.
8 games left in the Premier League.
Mm-hmm.
How many are we winning? Southampton, Wolves, Forest, Liverpool, West Ham, Palace, Villa, Brighton.
We're winning Southampton. And,
That's all I can think as well.
and he's going to be annoying as fuck, like we've won some kind of silverware or something in that presser
Sim,
afterwards.
do you see anything apart from that Southampton one? Realistically, the way we've been playing, the way that we are playing.
I don't know. Maybe 1 or 2. Maybe we'll beat Wolves as well. Well, the thing is, we're going to be rested. It depends. It depends how it goes against Frankfurt. Depends if we go through against Frankfurt or not, because we're going to be
Yeah, I
resting
don't think
players
we
in the
go
Premier
through
League.
Frankfurt either. But
No.
if we do, we don't. I mean, I don't see how we.
I think it comes down to. I think both games will come down to. I think we'll win at home, and I think Frankfurt will win at home. But what that looks like, I don't know. Could be a 1-0 for us and a 2 or 3-1 for them.
I could see possibly us winning at home, but I don't think we're getting through Frankfurt. I think they'll get it. I think that they have a much more. I mean, and I haven't watched them or anything, but we are in a plane crash situation as it is, So
Yeah.
for us for the players have to almost patch it together themselves, and that's not their role, but sometimes it kind of looks okay. Like tonight, I actually thought we had spells that looked all right, and I was happy with the players' effort and so on, but they're working against this absolute nightmare of tactics, because I can buy that the tactics have their place when you manage to get the overload. But we never do. They never expose themselves so that we have that overload. They always have a setup where they manage to get 11 men behind the ball.
Yeah.
So, and that's always when we look the best, by the way, and that's when we play the best, like the famous Man City game, is when we transition, when we do the 3-touch transition and score. So yeah. I'm not, but once again, for me, and I'm not now. I'm like in a place, and I actually think Levy is a little bit in a tough. Like I've been a Levy outer forever, but I actually think this is beyond what Levy can accept. Or I think he's quite panicked about the football situation because this brand is going down big time, and the manager's search is going to be a nightmare. They're going to have to throw enormous sums at the managers to get anybody with any kind of reputation in. I think
he's
so.
in a very difficult spot. I agree with you.
Yeah.
With the season going as badly as it has, and sacking Ange and convincing a top manager to come here right now, it's going to be very difficult.
We have a fucked up medical department. We have a absolutely furious fan base. We have the whole, of course, history of Levy and his crowd, which is not popular in football. And we have the star players looking for the exit now, which was what I always feared with the Ange tenure. That's what I started fearing a year ago, is like if between injuries and lack of results, our key players for this project are going to be out before we can bring it to any fruition, So, and that's what we're starting to see. Kulusevski is maybe next to be looking around, and and certainly people are kind of starting to charm his boots.
But it's interesting. You saw apparently there are rumours of Sonny today shushing the away fans when the goal went on. But what does that tell you about where the players are at the moment?
No, well, that's also the culture thing. Is like there's a culture of avoidance in Tottenham, and I've talked many. There's the non-confrontational aspect is of course quite English as well. You're very courteous and well-mannered and all of that, and this is what I hoped always with the Italian gang around Conte, that we could change that a little bit, because the thing is, when something is wrong, when something's not right, leaving it, not bringing it up, it's always going to make it a lot worse. You need to confront that shit right up front, and we don't do that. So everybody kind of goes into this bubble, this echo chamber that the players and the coaches live in, and they kind of get a us and them mentality towards the fans when it's going like this. And I'm sure they maybe also have it towards the corporate side of the club when with other things, in terms of pay, or like Kuti with the medical situation, and so on. So it's not what it's the exact recipe for non-winning culture. It's not one
everything is so fractured right now, isn't it, Jorri? You have players
exactly.
you have players speaking about the board. You had Romero, Son, Decky have mentioned things potentially about the board. You have the manager going at the fans. You have the fans singing "You don't know what you're doing" to the manager. You have people at you've got protests from the fans against the board. Like I don't know, I can't remember a time where it's ever been more fractured across the whole club.
No, and there's kind of two ways to go about it. There's the Pochettino way, which we now maybe appreciate beyond what he was able to do football-wise. What a brilliant diplomat he was! How he could bring everything together. What an absolute kind of brilliant politician he was to bring all the different ambitions and agendas together and make it gel as one. The other way is to bring in a true general like a Conte and whatever, and give him the keys to the car, and let him, like, now it's yours. You control, like you tell everybody from the cook to the even to the chairman how it's gonna go, and we go that way, But we didn't do that with him. Mourinho would have been like an old school Potts approach, I feel like that, but I certainly don't think like the up and coming superstars are going to be able to change this. Like if we get Iriola now, for example, I don't think he will change that. I think he will do a lot for the football. He'll bring a lot better tactics and probably bring some good coaching as well and all of that, but he won't be able to change that aspect of the club. That's why I'm so disappointed that Paratici is going, because I was hoping, I said I think I called you guys, Ben was on or something, I said, like, if I had to give you a recipe for getting back to post Potts levels again, that's being a top 4 club, I would, like, the shortest way for me would be to appoint a Paratici as sporting director and give him full control, and then getting Potts back as soon as possible. Because even if they don't win anything, Paratici will bring his vast experience of running a top club and recruiting and all of that, and Potts will get the cohesion back in the whole ecosystem of Tottenham, so.
Jorri, look, we're going to have to move on because we're running out of time, but appreciate you calling in as always, mate. Appreciate the call.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
There's a lot more hurt to come, I'm afraid.
There is, Sim. More for you, though, mate. More for you.
There's a lot of hurt going around, don't worry.
AA Sim. And Anonymous.
We're going, Jorri. As soon as we finish, we're going.
We're going.
Okay.